Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to Duly Noted. It's been a minute since we have done this. We actually did record an episode prior to this one, but your host, this guy, was really bad about editing it, and
the post-production
didn't happen. And
That's okay.
So, but some things have happened, and we really wanted to just do another episode and jump on the ball, but just because we got things to talk about. But it's been a few weeks since that last one. I guess it's been probably three weeks.
It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks since the last episode. So a lot of things have happened. We've done a lot of cool things. I mean, we've obviously watched shows and stuff like that. And we went and did a few things as a family. We went to, they had the Southside Fall Festival. We went and did that.
Yep.
Took our kids out to that. That was a fun weekend in general, which we maybe we've talked about that because we
Like that was before our last episode that we did.
Yeah.
We might
So-
have, but I don't know.
But anyway, there are some other things that had happened since then. So we got to do a really cool biking scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
It was what were your takes on that? Like the whole event.
It was a lot of fun. It was really tiring.
It
but it was
was-
a lot of fun.
It was a lot more biking than I thought it was going to be, but I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
Even though it was like 15-ish miles,
Yeah.
which 15-ish miles, it's like street miles, so it's not like as bad.
And it was like going over spots that we were at too. Like, oh, we have to backtrack now because
Yeah.
we missed this thing.
So, I mean, it was... I'm glad we did it.
Me too.
I thought it was really fun. It was really cool to go see a bunch of local businesses. So the scavenger hunt is put on by the St. Joseph Trail Alliance, which they're a nonprofit group that help maintain the trails, and we've got to be kind of part of that the Trail Alliance this last year, and so they have started doing this scavenger hunt through town, and it partners with a bunch of local businesses, and we've got a few breweries that are in town. So it basically, the whole idea was to take you to local businesses and partner and take pictures and selfies, and but a lot of it wasn't just businesses. A lot of it was like historic things about St. Joe. So
yeah.
it was like really cool things. Like, and but they were, so you had to
They were
figure out riddles.
super obscure riddles
But
too.
yeah, they were
And I've lived
challenging.
here my whole life, and I was like, I have no idea
But I mean,
what they're trying to have me figure out here.
there were some really cool ones, like this car doesn't have any wheels, but it's a great place to pick up some tasty food. And I was like, wait a minute,
It's
what is that?
yeah, it was
RC's lunch car,
lunch car,
which is really cool because I mean they had
really
this,
tasty.
yeah, they talk about like amazing local businesses, amazing. Yeah, the best. But it was so cool. We got to go throughout that event. We learned a lot about St. Joe. We went to a lot of businesses that we had never been before. Like I had never been to First Barrel Brewery.
Me either.
Super cool place. Super good beer.
Super cute.
Yeah, super cute place. Yeah, it really took us all throughout St. Joe. It was a big, broad. We did dress up for this because
Yeah,
it was
we
a
did.
costume contest.
Costume contest. We don't just dress up. We full out cosplay.
We're the kind of people
We
that
don't
like
play games in this family. We dress to win.
Yeah, so costumes, anything on this, we go like 110%. So we dressed up as Anakin and Padme from Star
Yes.
Wars. And not only did we dress up, not only was there a costume contest, we also may have won that said costume contest.
We did.
Because we were, not gonna lie, we also kind of deserved it because it was
We were
90
like-
degrees out that day.
We were in like long sleeves.
It was murder. I was in
He had
all black.
the all black
It was,
Revenge of the Sith outfit.
I mean, it
Mine was a little more breathable because it was like made of an athletic material, and it had like the mid open.
but we did it for the meme
Did
though.
it for the meme.
Yeah, so it was cool. I mean,
And because it would have been fun.
yeah, it was fun. Well, and now we have new Star Wars costumes that we can bust out,
that
which
we can bust out for Comic Con.
we're trying to constantly just get more and more as we go. So honestly, yeah, that one we could easily bust that out for Comic Con.
Yeah, because we're totally just gonna get the weekend pass this time and go multiple days, so we're gonna need multiple costumes. Like,
Well, I mean,
duh.
why not?
Like one day we're gonna have to go Padme and Anakin, and we're gonna have to go Ahsoka and the Ahsoka Trooper, and then another day we're gonna have to go as Mando and Bo-Katan. It's just as
well,
how it
and
is.
we're gonna our goal is to take the kids this year because we think they'd have a lot of fun because they really love Star Wars stuff. There's a lot of other things that they would just have fun like Pokemon and stuff at Comic-Con and stuff like that. But it was really cool. So but yeah, it was a good event. Good couple of weeks. I've been getting to ride recently. Been riding the trails a little more. Did I tell you that I'm starting to consistently get jumps again?
No.
I got videos on my.
All right, my anxiety just went
up a little bit.
3 levels.
I did the baby jumps for your information.
Okay.
But I was getting air on the baby jumps, and I was
Look
like,
at you.
I'm making baby steps again. Yay! Not that I'm gonna go towards the difficult jump course anytime soon, but it's the little things.
For those of you who don't know.
Which
a year ago,
they know because this is when we started this podcast.
I got a call from our oldest kid. He's 13 now, and he just goes. They were out riding, mountain biking riding. He just calls me, and the first words he says is, "He's hurt," and I was like, "What do I need to do?" Yeah, so we took him to the ER, and he had a broken collarbone. It was pretty disgustingly broken.
It was pretty broken. And honestly, the whole thing...
It was because you had a not great bike that you're doing it on,
Well, it was not a great bike. Well, and the problem... Even after I broke it, though, my surgeon, he was a duty butthole.
You waited 12 weeks to do surgery.
Yes. And so for those of you who don't know, I didn't just break my collarbone. There's a difference between like a hairline fracture and there being like a significant
it was in 3
gap.
pieces.
It was in 3 pieces, and the 2 main parts of the bone, there was probably there's like a good 1/2 inch to an inch gap between the bones.
Yeah.
And the surgeon was just like, "Oh no, it'll heal.
Your muscles will pull it down together."
You'll be fine.
And then...
So I waited. How was it? How many weeks was it the first time? Was it 2 weeks?
It would be
or 4 weeks.
He did it in 4-week increments.
4-week increments. So the first time we waited was 4 weeks, and he's like, "Oh man, that's still not."
It doesn't look any better.
Doesn't look any better, man. We should
wait 4 more weeks.
Let's wait another month and see what we're doing there. And I could just tell by looking at it because we're talking bones like gapped right there, and I was like, dude, there's no way that's gonna heal. And so another 4 weeks came, and and he said, "Oh wow, there's still a pretty big gap there. Oh darn.
Let's wait 4 more weeks."
Wait 4 more weeks.
I'm livid at this point, and I was like, "I'm going to your next appointment." Like I turned into Karen wife.
Well, the next time we went, I said, "Listen, doc," I said, "if it is not healed," which I knew it wasn't. I said, "if it's not healed, like there's still a gap. I want this fixed. Like I can't sleep at night." Like I literally waited 3 months where I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay on my side. It was painful. I mean, it was no like shame to that surgeon, but gosh dang it, dude, be better. Like, it was very frustrating. And so finally, I did get surgery, and I was 100% back within 2 weeks.
Yep.
So like, why couldn't we just have done a surgery and then like, if we would have did that day 1, I could have still ridden that season.
Right? But you were out the rest of the season.
I was out,
and that was at the end of July, beginning of August that happened.
Yeah. So we went August, September, October, and I didn't have surgery until November. And so I didn't really get approved to ride anything after I want to say it was like 4 weeks of my surgery, post-surgery. So, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole nother deal. But yeah, I was a little frustrated.
We ended up buying a bunch of new bikes afterwards.
Yeah, we
we're
all got new bikes.
Now.
Well, and now, like literally, I guess that's happened since this last episode. All of the girls have new bikes, so like they are all street legal, ready to go. Like they're
Trek bike riding family.
Apparently,
we all have Treks.
Yeah, we all got Treks now. So, hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag we could be.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. But yeah, we all have
this liquid IV is great.
Right, yeah.
Just kidding.
But no, but I mean, shout out to Horizon Cycling. They've been great to work with. Another local business. Blake and all those guys out there, they're super awesome. They work with us. Granted, Trek's a great company. I'm loving all of their bikes that we've had so far. I've had great success with my rail that I bought earlier this year. My goal was, and I don't know if I had told you this or not. My goal was to hit 500 miles this year.
Yeah.
I am not there yet, which I was hoping to do 500 miles this year with the new bike specifically. I am at 300 and as of right now 320, 300.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, close-ish. But do you know why specifically I wanted to make it to 500?
Why?
500 is the amount of miles if you ride it, you are compensating for the omission that it took to make the bike.
Oh, I get it.
So because it's an electric bike, if I would have ridden it 500 miles, that would have been anything past that. Its emission is now a positive.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the whole reason why. Well, I mean, that's the reason why I got the bike, but that's the reason
why you wanted to hit the 500
why I want to
miles.
hit the 500 miles, because I want to be like, man, how cool would it be if I did that within the first year of having the bike, just to say, I'm making a somewhat of a positive impact. So, but I just thought it was kind of a cool goal. So, but yeah, so that's been the last few weeks. Was there anything else going on that I missed? Okay. Well, we're going to start off something a little bit more silly today before we dive into like shows and yeah. So, I'm just going to ask some questions here. And we kind of did this on our last episode a little bit, but we didn't air it. So you won't have gotten to know that much stuff about us and about our relationship. So, I'm just going to ask you some simple questions. What do you think is the best thing about being married to me?
The fact that I never know what's going to happen next. Probably.
Okay.
Very unpredictable ADHD-ness of it.
I would never on a day, as long as it doesn't end on a Y. Today.
It's always a lot of fun.
Being married to me is fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
All right.
Because you're always wanting to kind of like go and do stuff, and we have the moments whenever we're like chilling. Stop. We have the moments whenever
This is a PG podcast, Jennifer. What are you talking
Stop
about?
with the eyebrows. We never have a moment where we have moments where we like sit and we just chill and we just enjoying each other's presence. Like you're sitting over here and I'm sitting over here, and we're doing our own things while we're sitting separately, but we're still together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will have to say, not to like, humble brag or anything. I mean, having past and previous relationships, being married previously, I got to say kudos to being the best partner out there, because we truly, I feels like we don't fight.
No,
like
we don't.
Well, because it feels like we're very much on the same team, and we try to help each other out, and I think that's what marriage is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
And so I think we do a very good job of that, and I think that's why we mesh so well together. I also do like how I gaslight you into liking all of the things that I like.
I was like, it's good gaslighting. It's not bad gaslighting. Like,
you didn't know where that was gonna go. You're just like, wait a minute.
Like, whoa, hold on.
But no, I.
But like, he gaslit me into liking Star Wars, like those kinds of things.
Tom gaslights his wife. What?
Whoa.
But like the good kind of gaslighting. Which I didn't know was a thing. But I like how you're very, I don't want to say you're impressionable, but you seem to like, you pick up the things that I like, and it makes it just, I'm like, yeah,
I think it helps
stuff.
that you're passionate about it. If you were like, just like, oh yeah, I like that, and then that was it, and you just like showed me the movie and we never talked about it again, I'd be like, oh, it was okay.
But then this one time at band camp.
Jeez. Dear Lord.
Oh, man. Okay, well, that's good. What, So I mean, what you just think is the? Would you say that like the randomness that's like the best part of our marriage?
I
Then
think so.
okay.
And that we can, I don't know, talk like about like nerd stuff and not like super like be judgy about the nerd things. Like you don't judge me on like all my Harry Potter stuff.
Oh no, absolutely.
It's like
Now, granted, if she told me she preferred the sequels in all of Star Wars, I would probably reevaluate the marriage entirely. But yeah, because we don't talk about that. We don't. This is an original trilogy and prequel trilogy
before
house.
I met
Okay,
him, I had like only seen the sequels.
and that was heartbreaking.
And he was like, "Oh dear,
Oh,
we have to do some education real quick."
oh,
Oh,
yikes.
yeah.
But yeah, now we've pretty much watched everything in existence in Star Wars. So shout out to being a cool homie / wife for that. Okay, so I'm gonna dive into some more stupid questions.
Hi.
And I want give me your best answer you possibly can. Okay, I've got a list of like things I wrote down just because
Hi.
I thought they'd be funny. So here we go. All right, this is no longer about us. Okay.
Okay.
What is something that everybody does that they look stupid while doing?
I don't know.
Professional hot dog eaters.
Yes. Okay, take the bread and dip it in the water to make it mushy.
That doesn't make any sense to me. There's
Oh my
there's
gosh.
guys that'll eat them whole, like they'll just completely inhale them.
Okay,
It's not
so
healthy.
say the question again because I want to make sure I heard it right for what my answer.
What is something that people do that they just look stupid doing?
Hopping on all the trends. Like when I'm like, ooh, look, they're putting salt and ice cubes on their legs and burning their skin.
Oh
I
my
better
gosh.
do it
So
too.
you're talking like the Tide Pod
like
challenge
the Tide
or
Pod,
the cinnamon challenge. Oh,
I'm
gosh.
like, this is not cute.
Oh man, you know.
They get ew.
Okay. So this takes me on to another question diving down the rabbit hole.
I did do though in high school. I did do. It was the Kylie Jenner lip challenge.
No.
Where you took a cup
Oh, you got the duck
and
lips.
you like sucked the air in and
gosh.
it made like a bruise around your mouth basically. 'Cause
See,
you, like,
the only one that I've done, the only challenge I've done was for a good cause. It was the
Ice bucket?
the ice bucket challenge, and I did that in college. I can't remember if I was I was doing campus ministry, so I don't know if I was in college or out of college, but I was involved with the campus still,
Mhm.
and I got challenged, and because the whole thing was like, well, and some people took it the wrong way, like they if you did the challenge, you were avoiding donating to the charity, but the whole thing was to bring awareness to the charity, which I think it did. Which I mean, we still donated to the charity anyway, but people were saying, they're only doing the challenge so they don't have to donate. Blah 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 blah. No, it wasn't about that. It's about bringing awareness to
yeah.
it. So that one was a positive one. But yeah, I mean, you get those stupid trends of the Tide Pod. Like people die from those. Like that's so
Yeah.
stupid. I mean, yeah, whatever. Don't do that. Don't do that. Moving on to the next question, which slightly in lines with that. What is the cringiest thing you've ever seen on the internet?
There was something that the other day that just gave me the ick.
It gave you the ick.
You know what the ick is?
Yes, you just feel it. You just feel.
You get the shit that's like, ugh.
oh.
No. But it's people who air out all their dirty baggage on the internet.
Oh.
And like
baby daddy don't pay no
yeah,
baby
not like that,
if
but
he would have
like
just came over or something.
and it's just like I have people that are like on my Facebook who are they put everything out there, like every wrong thing with their life, and I'm like, I'm so sorry that you're so sad about this, but at the same time we do it between like your friends and like your family. If it's something like that, that's not something that like the world needs to know. Like there was Sorry, I did not mean to hit you.
Abuse right there, guys.
I
Live
just
on
remember
air, domestic
specifically
assault.
a post. There was a post someone made on Christmas that was just like, just found out so and so's just cheating on me all the time. Merry Christmas, everybody. And I was like, what?
Yikes, dude.
I was like, that's fantastic. They're still together, by the way. They post about it all the time.
What?
And then
No names, no names.
no, and then he'll
Oh,
be like,
Lord.
anybody can find me a lady who's committed and whatever. And I'm like, you literally just made a post 2 days ago about how y'all are looking for a house and how you love her so much. I'm like,
I'm
oh my
hoping this
gosh.
person finds this podcast.
They probably will not.
What's up? Okay, no.
I can just say that.
Cringiest thing on the internet. For me, well, there's a lot of cringy things on the internet. I thought it was really cringy at the Ed Sheeran concert when the girl in front of us. There was a girl, we were at Ed Sheeran, we went and saw Ed Sheeran, and
She was probably like 15.
oh, not
maybe
even.
like 14.
I would say she was like 12, maybe
I don't
13.
think she was 12. I think she was older than
She
12.
looked pretty young.
But she definitely was not older than 16
But
years
so
old.
what this girl did was she turned her flash on and started recording a video, but then turned it away so she could flash her face. But she couldn't see what she was doing. So she was selfieing and she turned around. So like she turned around
so the stage
so
would be
you
in, like,
could
the
see the stage in the
background.
background.
And she
and
started
it was-
doing like come here fingers.
and she's
and I'm like,
like lip sync, and it was like terrible. It was the cringiest thing I'd ever seen. But like, kudos to that girl for like being brave.
yeah.
but, like,
she
I
was
also-
she was really confident.
She
was
didn't have any
very
shame, but
confident.
I felt ashamed for her. So there was that kind of thing, whole vibe going with it.
We just kind of stopped what we were doing and we were like, oh my gosh,
Man,
this
I kind of
is
wanted
happening
to.
right
I
now.
wanted to record that moment.
Oh
Yeah, just to catch it on. Just, there's little things where you're just like, I wish I recorded that. That was one of those moments. Internet. Could have gone viral, bro. Could have gone viral. But,
oh my goodness.
like, it's like we were in our car earlier today, and our 4-year-old was having a panic attack because her sister handed me a water bottle,
But
and
she
she's
wanted to hand the
she
water
wanted to hand the
bottle.
water bottle, and I said, and she's screaming, bloody murdy, crying. She's like, I wanted to hand the bottle. I said, oh, do you want to hand the water back to me? And she says, yeah. And I said, okay, and I handed her the bottle. And then she handed it right back to me.
And then everything was
And then
perfectly
everything
fine.
was fine. Yeah. Like, you know what? I want to encapsulate
a
these moments.
toddler.
Yeah, I was like, this is what it's like to be a parent. The little things that they really just keep you going. So,
That poor girl. She was so tired.
yeah, she was
so tired.
she was tired.
She was like knocked out asleep like 2 seconds later.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we had just done a long bike ride, so it was
Yeah.
it
We
was
were up really early.
yeah,
She hadn't had a nap yet.
Poor kiddo. It's tough being 4.
It's tough being
Yeah.
4.
Oh man.
Life's
But
so hard.
anyway, going back to cringy things on the internet, talking about Ed Sheeran or Olivia in the car, apparently. I think, well, I don't know if this is cringy. I hate when influencers just do stuff for reactions to get like clout on the internet. And like the one kid that got shot because he went and was trying to. Did you see about that?
I saw that.
And he was just
'Cause
coming up.
He's
He's just being a jerk at some like fast food line. Some guy's just trying to, and it's one of those prank channels where they just try to
like,
get reactions
these are pranks,
and stuff.
and I'm like, you're literally walking up to people and being a jerk to them. That's
Yeah.
not a prank.
Yeah, and which I mean, don't get me wrong, like, and I feel bad for the guy because the guy, what ended up happening, he went and approached the wrong guy, which his whole channel is dedicated to, and I'm not going to name the guy because he doesn't need to get any more following. I think he's a turd person. But yeah, he literally just goes around and pranks and bullies people to get a reaction on the internet. Well, he did it in this fast food line, and he did it to the wrong person, and the person pulled out a gun and shot him. I personally, what is frustrating, which the internet's on the other guy's side. Like they don't like the influencer.
I was gonna say I didn't think they were on the influence. Are you going to sneeze?
I think I am. Ugh.
Bless
Thanks,
you.
Mom. Anyway, but the internet, they're on the side of the guy that was getting pranked, but he ended up getting jail time,
Yeah.
which I think is frustrating because
I mean,
the guy provoked it.
it
So
was provoked.
I don't know. I think
but-
it's yeah. But anyway, little frustrating things like that. If you're an influencer and you have a platform, I think you
Use it for good.
use it for good.
Don't
Like
use it to bully people.
yeah, don't use it to bully people. Help people out. Bring awareness to things. Help small businesses. Do what you can to make the world a better place.
Mhm.
That's it. Don't be a jerk. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay. You ready to get into some weird questions?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Okay. Okay.
You can just tell me and be honest with me. Okay. You don't need to hide this from me. Is there an animal that you think is sexy?
An
Is there
animal?
an animal that you think is sexy?
No.
Gross. Nothing at all?
No. Nothing
Pandas.
comes to.
Because they are the least racist animal. 'Cause they're black, white, and
Stop.
Asian.
Did you know that China's taking away
They
our
did.
pandas?
Why China? They're, which I mean, don't get me
They
wrong.
took away like everybody's pandas.
which they were on
except
loan.
for Russia's pandas.
Yeah, it's because that's all another thing. Not to get into
I
politics.
want my pandas.
I know. I do love me some pandas.
They're
I also
so cute
think
and clumsy.
I don't think that they're sexy necessarily,
No.
but I do enjoy them. I think they're pure. So that's pure is sexy on my list. Way to go, pandas.
Oh dear.
All right, here's the next awkward question. Do you like the way that your butt smells?
I can't smell my butt.
Someone doesn't try hard enough. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not a giraffe. I don't have this.
a long neck. Just like, what's going on, guys? Oh gosh, this is supposed to be a PG channel. I'm sorry, guys. We're really.
I was like, you're the one who picked the question.
I know I did, but I think my butt is adequately stinky. So
Well, you fart a lot.
I do,
so-
and I don't wish that upon anyone to
No.
have to,
You like farted while you were asleep this morning? Oh my gosh. It was so bad.
Was it deadly?
Well, because the fan's on your side of the bed.
Yeah, it
And
is.
so it like goes in my direction from so it goes across him over to
Big
me.
brain, friends. Big brain.
And so I get all the fart smells like full force.
Yeah, I never have to smell any of Jennifer's farts. She has to live with mine regularly, especially at night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was just strategically planned. You're welcome. Glad we could leave a little bit of each other with one another. Oh gosh.
Ew.
All right. Do you have any crazy, wild, off the cuff questions?
Nope.
Okay. How many chickens do you think it would take to take down an elephant?
Is like an actual question or is
Yeah.
this like a joke?
No, it's a real question. How many chickens do you think it would take to take down an elephant?
I don't know. 7?
7? 7?
Oh. 7.
Wow. Is that girl math doing its thing right there? Girl math. I would think it would take at least 50 to 100 chickens, at least, to bring down an elephant.
How big's the elephant?
A
What,
large
is it
elephant.
a baby elephant?
No, it's a normal-sized adult elephant. Adult elephants and adult chickens.
7.
7. Wow.
Because they could pick at the feet. And then they...
Yeah, but all
they
the
go,
elephant has to do is lift a foot up and then bam, 5 of them are dead.
Not if they're all spread out.
This strategy is not working very well, I promise you. It's got a trunk. It could literally just pick it up and you're like, oh, this one's tasty, and just eat it.
But they're
Granted,
fast.
they're chickens are also dumb.
They
Elephants
gotta hop up and peck its eyes so it can't see
elephants are very intelligent creatures.
it. Uh-huh.
Chickens are the stupidest things. Have you been around chickens?
Yeah.
They do not work in any uniform way other than food. Ha 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 ha. That is it.
That's how I work too.
For real though, guys. Not
Food.
to like talk bad about my lovely wife here, but whenever she gets hungry, she
It's not
becomes
talking
a
bad.
freaking gremlin.
It's saying facts. It's not talking bad.
There's a difference between hangry and just straight murdering people. Okay, neither are okay. We just gotta take that Snickers commercial was made for you. Okay, you're not yourself when you're hungry.
Okay.
I'm going to talk all stuffy now. Ugh. Okay, all right. Shall we dive into the one stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so last time we talked a little bit about one of our favorite shows. We've been watching Ahsoka regularly. Well, this past week was the season finale of season 1. So last episode we had watched episode 5, so there were 3 more episodes that happened after that. Each one I thought were cool. What do we want to recap the episodes and then jump on our overall thoughts, or what? What do you want to do?
I don't think we need to recap, really. Yeah, let's recap.
Okay. So we don't need to recap. Let's recap. Wow, I thought I was ADD. That being said, I asked Jennifer earlier today. I said, and this is very Tom being undiagnosed here. I said, do you think I am ADD or I am ADHD? And she said,
I said you got that high definition.
I got that high definition ADD. I'm like, what's up, yo? So I what? So now you know. I didn't know that, but apparently I have that. Self-diagnosed. Anyway, so back to Ahsoka. We are now talking episodes 6, 7, and 8, the season finale. So season 1, episode 6, we have left Ahsoka on the planet of Peridia. She's already jumped on the whales. We don't see anything of Ahsoka on this episode.
Okay, I was like, which one's that?
Yeah,
But,
so we
yeah.
don't see anything of Ahsoka on this episode. So we get to Peridia. We see Morgan and Balin and Shin Hati. We see all of them basically arrive at Peridia, and we see them come to a temple, and they find the Night Sisters. And once they find the Night Sisters, we see a really big, colossal Star Destroyer come down, and then which they have Sabine. They cuffed and basically chained up, ready to go. And you see a Star Destroyer.
Reeks of Jedi.
That was the funniest thing. So the Night Sisters, they say, they look at each other and like, it reeks of Jedi. And it was the funniest thing because Balin looks at Shin looks at Sabine, and Sabine looks at Balin, and everyone's like, what the heck? Yeah, who are they talking about? Who's the Jedi here? Because Sabine's like, it's not me. But it was really funny. So once we see the Night Sisters, we then see Admiral Thrawn's starship come down, and then we see everyone basically come into formation. We see Thrawn come down. We see his first mate, Captain Enoch, which Enoch looks amazing. We see all of the night troopers, which all the night troopers, they have that kind of broken, remade armor about them. So it's just kind of like armor made from scraps and stuff like that. So it was just really, really cool to see those people come to fruition. And then as we're going, we basically we see Admiral Thrawn, and we see this happen really early on and really quickly. Admiral Thrawn is typically he's a strategic mind. He's always thinking 10 step. What's his next 10 steps that he's going to do? He's not thinking what can I do next. It's what am I going to do after the next few things I'm going to do. So he kind of keeps on that front of things pretty well. But anyway, so he makes a deal with Sabine, and he says, tell you what, I'm not going to take you with me, but I'll let you go find Ezra Bridger. I'll let you go do your thing and go find him, but just let you know I'm going to leave you here to die.
Yep, you're not going back.
Yeah. So she's like, okay, whatever. And she leaves. Then we see Sabine being dismissed by Captain Enoch. And Enoch has one of the best lines in the whole series, I think. He just looks at her and says, die well. And which I thought was really just prophetic.
Mhm.
It kind of set a mood, which Enoch, it's a biblical term. So not to give you guys any religious undertones, but Enoch was basically the right hand of God. So we're kind of seeing this Thrawn almost positioning himself in the mindset of like he's a god almost. So, but anyway, so they let Sabine go, and they both Balin and Shin, they basically say, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, he's going to go find Ezra Bridger, but you're going to trail her and you're going to kill them both. And they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So as they leave.
Oh, Shin didn't seem like, oh, yeah, that sounds great.
I mean,
she was like,
yeah.
yeah.
You can kind of see like some reservations from Shin a little bit. But Shin leaves, or keep yawning. Keep dying. I'm sorry. I know. It's because I'm not haven't had any caffeine today. Oh, granted, my tea is right there.
You didn't have coffee this morning?
Did I? Oh yeah, I did.
Pretty sure, because you got all excited because we had the big cups.
Oops. Well, maybe I'm just tired. I'm getting old, guys. But all right, so we'll maybe move this a little quicker then. So Sabine moves on. She runs and finds these little frog snail people hiding in rocks, and then there's some conversation that happens. They recognize the rebel symbol. They take her back to their base, and Sabine walks around and says, he's got to be here, and lo and behold, bam,
there's Ezra.
So he's been there. Episode ends. So then the next episode is Ahsoka getting to the planet. We see Ahsoka basically sensing Sabine's presence. We see her get to the planet. We see them basically Admiral Thrawn and all of the people trying to kill Ahsoka before she even gets to the planet. And then we have this battle where Shin has teamed up with these they're like bounty hunter raider people from the planet, and so they've teamed up and they're going after Ezra and Sabine. So which they're all in this community of like crab shell looking people.
Yeah,
I don't know what they are.
I don't know. They all wear red.
I don't know. Well, you're talking about the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the bounty hunters are going after the snail people.
Oh, you're talking about the snail people.
Yeah, the snail people. So
we never found out what they were really called, did we?
No, we didn't, but it's fine. But that that we're talking about the next episode now, so we've moved to episode 7. So we see that Ezra and Sabine are fighting off the bounty hunters and Shin. Balin is basically just kind of ditched Shin, and he says, I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go look for something else. There's something a little bit more powerful here. And then everyone's scared of it. Thrawn's scared of it. The Night Sisters are scared of it. I'm going to go do my own thing. So he says, Shin, I know you're going to do good, but you're on your own. I'm going to go do my own stuff. So he kind of pieces out and goes to do his own thing. Well, Ahsoka senses Sabine and finds her on the planet. Well, she comes down, and what's the droid's name? Hu Yang, that's right. Hu Yang is piloting the ship, so Hu Yang drops off Ahsoka.
You're on the last episode now. You're not?
Nope, we're still on episode 7.
I need to rewatch these.
Finger guns. See, I've watched these like twice now.
You watched it again without me?
Never.
I totally did. You know, this man and watching shows without me that we're watching, whenever Mandalorian was coming out, he would not wait.
Now, I waited on Ahsoka religiously. Granted, we had a much better process of watching it because we would watch it like literally the second it came out. But yeah, Mandalorian is like my favorite show. I to avoid spoilers, I'd wake up at 7 a.m. or something, or like that morning that it aired, and would watch it right then and there, so I didn't get spoiled on the internet. Because it's my favorite show, and I've been spoiled before, and I don't want to be upset by that. But anyway, so episode 7, Hu Yang drops off Ahsoka. Ahsoka lands and fights Balin. And Balin's like, I'm going to stop you here. It doesn't matter. You're not going to stop me, blah, 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 blah. They have this fight, and then there's a cloud of smoke.
She goes, I don't have time for this.
Yeah. Ahsoka bails, and she's like, I got to go save my friends. And then Sabine and Ezra are fighting with Shin and all of the bounty hunter raider people. And then here comes Ahsoka out of nowhere. Big happy family reunion. And you start seeing Ezra use his force powers. You start seeing Ahsoka just kill everybody. Like they're the gang's back together, and they realize that they've lost a lot of their troops. And Thrawn sends out a retreat distress signal. So just like that, all of the people, like the stormtroopers, because there's night troopers there, night troopers along with the bounty hunter raiders. And so all of the troopers bolt and leave, and Ahsoka sends the invitation, says, you can come and join us. And Shin's just like,
she said,
nope.
she just
bolted and left. And so the end of episode 7, we get this nice reunion of the Rebels gang, basically. So it's kind of nice how it sets up the final episode, which is really cool. The final episode. There's a lot of things that happen in the final episode. They basically are trying to get on the ship because their ship is currently out of commission, can't fly. They are trying to get aboard Thrawn's ship before he goes through hyperspace, because that is a one ship passage thing. Like once it's gone, it's gone. So
unless she can magically make the space whales show up again.
Didn't sound like they were going to come back.
It didn't sound like it. Nope.
So
that's like a graveyard, basically.
Yeah, because on the planet, so Peridia, the reason that Ahsoka found it with the space whales is because it was part of their migration path, and that's where the space whales would go to die. And it would be the end of their life cycle. So, which was really sad. Like whenever Ahsoka got there with the space whales, they had just tons of minefields out, and they were just like they're attacking the space whales. So like it was kind of sad to see him attack. But immediately the space whales like went zippy zoozad and got out of there super quick.
Zippy zoozad.
Yeah, but you got to get that fancy vernacular in there. That's how you know it's legit. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Jeez Louise.
But anyway, so now we're talking about the last episode, the final episode. So the whole plan is to get to Thrawn's ship, so that they can escape the planet, basically. But as they're on their way, Hu Yang is helping Ezra rebuild his lightsaber. And something that was so cool that made me want to cry was he finds one of the emitters from the lightsabers as he's doing it, and he says, well, I happen to have one, and the one I happen to have, there were only two, and it was the twin brother of the emitter was the twin copy of Kanan, his former master's lightsaber. So I thought it was really cool.
He called him by his name whenever he was a youngling, Caleb.
Yes. Yeah, Caleb. Yes, Caleb was his,
because he changed his name so whenever Order 66 happened.
Yeah. So Kanan Jarrus, which was Ezra's master, he was from Rebels. We saw his character basically fight through Rebels, which I thought he was such a cool character anyway. He ends up getting blinded in the series, and he ends up seeing, like, using the Force to see. Like, it's so cool. And then he ultimately sacrifices himself to save his friends and loved ones, which was really
It's like
cool.
the biggest one of the biggest sacrifices in like the Star Wars
Yeah, which was
like
so
universe.
cool. Well, and it's like you could tell that he could see at the very end. Like they
Yeah, because
granted him
it
his
just like
vision. Yeah.
it's like you just see the fog go off of his eyes.
Yeah, it was so cool. But and that was like his last thing he got to see is he
His
got to see the
hair.
ones that he loved saved.
Mhm.
So I thought that was cool. So I thought it was cool that they're paying homage to him. I am praying and hoping that they have some more connection with
Maybe
Kanan.
we'll hear some background voices of Freddie Prinze Jr.
Maybe, I don't know.
Just at least some voice acting.
I would love
like,
to see. I mean, as much
like
as
memories or like in dreams.
I mean,
or
whatever
like
it takes,
something.
I would love to see it. But anyway, so episode 8, we have Ezra make his lightsaber. They're on their way to Thrawn's ship, and they realize, oh crap, they're almost here. We got to stop them. So
Mhm.
they just start bombarding the field with lasers and cannon shots, trying to kill them in the wake. But it is it's not enough. It is not
Mm-mm.
enough. And we see Sabine start to use the Force a little bit. We see her help
Mhm.
and push through the door to get to the compound. And so we start, that's the first little inkling that we see of Sabine starting to use the Force. Which, I mean, we have some other, like, inklings there before, because we see a connection with Ahsoka and Sabine. Like, they're able to find each other, hear each other's thoughts through the Force, sense each other, I guess. But when they get into the chamber, that's when stuff starts getting wild. So what happens next, Jennifer? Do you remember?
Yeah. They got in there and then they started being like swarmed with these night troopers. And so they're all like, "Oh yeah, it's no big deal. I'ma just zippy zap them with my lightsaber." And so they get the whole fleet of not stormtroopers, but the night
The
troopers.
night
They get
troopers,
them
yeah.
all down, and they're like, "Okay, yep, let's go up those stairs to the next place." And you see the Night Sisters, and they're like chanting
Doing
their
their
mumbo
enchantment at the
jumbo, and
which
then
was
you
so cool. I mean, to see which as prior to this happening, they also they made Morgan Elspeth. They made her a formal Night Sister, and they gave her the sacred blade from the grandmother.
And so her eyes like changed, and
Yeah,
her
she
face,
became
she
a
got like the
full.
markings on
Yeah,
her
she
face.
became a full Night Sister,
Mhm.
and Thrawn asks Morgan to stay behind. During this. So, like, as the night troopers are fighting, Thrawn asks Morgan and says, "We need more time. I need you to stay." And Thrawn walks away and says, "For the Empire." And then as he walks away, she goes, "For Dathomir." So you start to see where their loyalties really lie.
Yeah.
So because, I mean, obviously Morgan cares very much about the Night Sisters. That's I don't know if that's
They're like
her
her ancestors.
Yeah, her ancestors. I don't know if that's her home
I don't think it's
planet.
her home.
Yeah, but I think she has ties to it of some kind. But we see the Night Sisters conjuring up some juju magic, and
Juju magic.
then we
Oh my
see
goodness! They resurrect.
they
the
resurrect
night troopers.
all
They
the night
reanimate
troopers.
all
They
of
reanimate
them.
all of them, and it doesn't matter what they do. Like, no matter where, which, I mean, they probably could have, like, just completely cut off and severed limbs. That probably would have
That
stopped
probably would have
them.
helped. But like everything else that they would do, like Sabine would hit him with the blasters,
and they
all
just
this
get
stuff.
back up. So
yeah, nothing.
No matter, they would just continue to self reanimate every time they got sliced a little bit or shot. And they just pop right back up. So we got to see our first take of zombies in the Star Wars universe. It was pretty stinking cool. Which that was something that they had did in Legends, which was really cool that they making that canon now. Which I love that, like, Dave Filoni is making all these cool things canon now. So but anyway, they how they stop them is they slash the door button, and basically it slams down these doors, these barrier walls, and then they keep going and having to fight more.
But they push through it though.
They push through it, yeah, but they have to keep doing it. So they get to the top of the tower, and that's where Morgan, Elspeth, is waiting for them with her sacred Night Sister blade. So that is when Ahsoka goes to fight on against her, and Ezra and Sabine they push
continue.
on. Yeah, they push on forward to try to get to the starship. So as they are fighting, there was one more key moment. We saw earlier, before this happened, Sabine actually was able to force recall a lightsaber.
I thought that was after she continued.
It was before.
Because they were up there on the top of the rock. On the top of the thingy fighting. Ezra and Sabine were up there. Because it was just a Ezra and Sabine scene, I'm pretty sure. Whenever she recalled the lightsaber to come back to her. Because that was at that moment where she was like, okay, I can do this for the next step that happens.
You mean with like Ezra going up on the
ship?
Yeah, she does that after.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
After the lightsaber, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's after they find Morgan.
Oh, is it? Yeah. That sounds right. So, but we see Sabine basically recall a lightsaber with the Force, and so this is the first huge moment where we get to see her actually being Force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's struggled with it all the way up until now, and it's just been really cool. So we actually finally see the training or the struggle come to fruition. She's able to use that power now. Then we see Ahsoka fighting Morgan. They move to the top of the tower while Ezra and Sabine are trying to get to the ship. Basically, they come up with a plan. They're like, here's what's going to happen. Ezra's going to run and jump, and Sabine's going to force push him up. And then Sabine's going to run and jump, and Ezra's going to force pull her. So Ezra has not seen any of Sabine's force training.
Mm-hmm. So he's like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, he's like, you sure about this?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, you sure about that? He's like, yes, go ahead, you first. So that would have been a pretty sketchy call for me. I don't know that I would have taken her up on that. Because basically he's saying, okay, I'm going to jump off a cliff, and you're going to shoot me up in the air to this starship.
But I've never seen you use the Force, and I have no idea if you can use the Force.
So the amount of trust that Ezra has in this moment is pretty stinking cool.
Yeah.
But it's pretty great. But then we see that Ezra makes the jump, and we do see Sabine actually force push him. So he makes it up there. He takes out some of the guards, and then Sabine is getting ready to run. And so you see her getting ready to jump and get pulled by Ezra. We go back to Ahsoka fighting Morgan and the troopers.
Was finally up at the top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's up at the top fighting Morgan, and all the troopers are basically just watching everything. And then the next thing you know, Sabine comes out of nowhere and just starts slicing and dicing everybody. Which I think was fitting, because that means Ezra's finally on the ship, gets to go home, but now the Padawan and the Master are reunited.
Yep.
So it's
and
kind
they're
of
stuck.
Yeah. So, but you see them fight. You see Ahsoka defeat Morgan. You see Ahsoka and Sabine jump off a cliff of the night troopers, where Hu Yang is waiting for them in the new Hu Yang. Sorry, my cold is my sneezes. They're getting to me. But yeah, Hu Yang is waiting for them in the ship. He has repaired it in the time. So they then get to jump on board and peace out. And you see Thrawn's ship and Ahsoka, they go out to the outer world, and they go to the outskirts of the atmosphere, getting ready to go into space, and they're chasing down Thrawn.
Yeah, they tried so hard.
They're trying, and Thrawn just says, "You've tried, you've played a valiant effort, but I win this round." And then the next thing you know, he just hyperspeeds out of there, intergalactic travel, and you see Ahsoka and the gang get left behind. However, Thrawn and Ezra now are back in the normal Star Wars galaxy, so we get
Thrawn
to see...
doesn't know that Ezra
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that Ezra's on board.
While Ezra is on board, he is smart enough, being, the sneaky rebel that he is, he steals a stormtrooper's outfit.
Familiar look for Ezra.
Yeah, familiar look. So I thought that also was pretty fitting.
That was funny.
I think it was cool. Towards the end of it, we see it's not a TIE fighter, but it's like one of the Imperial starships flying into the New Republic, and they see a stormtrooper walk out, and they're like, "What the heck?" And also all the
But Chopper goes up.
Yeah, Chopper walks up and he says,
to
"What's
him
going
and
on?"
is like, "Hey, I know you."
Yeah. So then you see Hera and everyone just pointing at the stormtrooper, and then they take the helmet off, and it's obviously Ezra. So it's pretty cool. Hera then realizes the family's back together, except minus the other part of the family. But Ezra is finally home. So after the 5 years that he's been stranded, or however long he's been stranded, he is finally home. So it's really fitting that he is back. Now, granted, Ahsoka and Sabine are stranded. They are on Peridia right now. And as we end episode 8, we get a glimpse of everyone else where they're kind of settling into this new world, because both of the Sith people are stranded on the planet, and so are Ahsoka and Sabine. The first one we get a glimpse of is Shin Hati. She ignites her saber, and we see her finding a place among the raiders. So we had kind of seen her kind of rally up them in the previous fights, so that kind of seems like a good place for Shin, because she's kind of been ostracized a little bit. The next thing we see, which I like flipped out, because you had previously seen Morai,
the
bird.
owl. Yeah. I was gonna say, you see the owl before you see where he's at.
So
so you know a little bit, like kind of like where this is leading.
So you see the camp, and you see Sabine and Ahsoka with the snail people, and you see Morai in the background, and I lose it, guys. I lose it, and I said, "Oh my gosh, it's the Mortis gods!" And I remember just absolutely freaking out. And then the next thing you see is Baylan Skoll. You see him on a mountain looking off in the distance. And it zooms out, and he is on the hand of a giant statue of the father Mortis god. And it's such a beautiful thing, and he's looking off in the distance in the direction that the father is pointing. But the mountainside, you see the father standing next to the son, but then the daughter, the statue, has been destroyed and demolished. Which, if for those of you that have watched Rebels, we know that the daughter gives up her essence to save Ahsoka. So there's kind of the new theory that Ahsoka is the new daughter, which I'm gonna talk to some theories here in a minute, because I'm gonna get all nerdy on you. But we see this new thing, and we see the hand pointing off in the distance to a mountain with a light emitting out of it. Basically, you see something shining in the distance. So it's alluding to something. We don't know exactly what it is. I have my theories. But of course you do. Yeah, of course I do. But we see that happen. So they're confirming the Mortis gods in real life. Then it goes back to Sabine and Ahsoka, and they're finding their new place with their snail buddies, because they're not going anywhere anytime soon. They're making home for themselves. You see Sabine looking off in the distance, and she can kind of feel something, and she doesn't know.
She doesn't admit to it.
Yeah, she does. She's like, but you can tell, like, Ahsoka, she's like, "What's up?" It's like, "Oh, I just thought, never mind." Well, then Ahsoka leans over, looks, and smiles a little bit, and walks away. And then as she walks away, I literally started crying right then. As she walks away, you see Anakin's Force Ghost, which it breaks just so much joy.
Looking so proud.
Yeah, he's finally completing the mission, and it's so good. And then that completes episode 8 and season 1 of Ahsoka. I thought it was super awesome. What are your general thoughts so far?
I like it. I liked it a lot. I also just really like the character Ahsoka in general, so I was super excited for the series when they announced it was coming out. I think I would have liked it more if I had watched more of Rebels before, because I kind of started watching it before because I knew I would need to really understand, but I only really got, I'd say, maybe halfway through it, through Rebels.
Okay.
I don't know how many seasons there are.
I don't remember.
But I think I'm on like 3 or 4, somewhere in there. So I was not, I think, fully mentally prepared, but I was prepared enough. I knew enough about it. I'd seen all Clone Wars. And I'd seen, I think, enough of Rebels to like know who people are, and I know where their place is on each thing.
You know who the Mortis guards are.
Yes.
So I think
wasn't that in Clone Wars?
Yeah, that was in like season 3 of Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Which I think that's to me when like Clone Wars really starts getting good.
Yeah.
Because they start introducing these new ideas and these concepts. And for those of you who don't know, they talk about Anakin. You find these people who are the Force gods, basically. They're just I want to say abnormally powerful. They are. They're really powerful entities who are essentially Force gods. Like lightsabers don't affect them. They can turn into creatures. They're crazy powerful. But you have one that is the father that represents balance. You have a daughter who represents light, and you have a son who represents darkness. And they kind of play this age-old game of balancing each other out. And not to give too much away, I wish we already talked a little bit how Ahsoka is, she absorbs the spirit or the essence of the daughter. So there's the theory that's the reason why the daughter statue is destroyed in the mountainside. Do you want to hear my theories?
Sure.
So my theories are one of 2 things that are coming with the Mortis gods. I think that what the thing is pointing to, that the father's pointing to, is either another temple to the world between worlds, or it's Abeloth, which Abeloth is the mother.
Okay.
Do you know anything about the mother?
Nope.
So, Abeloth was the mother who, quote unquote, she was a really powerful entity, but she wasn't immortal. So she wanted to become immortal, but she couldn't do that. So, but she wanted to live forever like the son, daughter, and the father. So what she did is she found a corrupted Sith fountain of pure Sith energy and drank from it. And not only did it grant her immortality, it corrupted her. So she became the most powerful Force entity in the universe. And the only way that they could control her was I think they had to stick her like in a black hole.
Oh,
and
gosh.
It was like, but like the father and the kids had to help do it. So now with the all of the gods basically gone, the theory is that she is being released, or that Balin is searching for that power, something that could destroy both the Jedi and the Sith. Yeah, I kind of ripped a little. Sorry there. But anyway, that's one theory. My other theory, which this leans into one that I've already believed for a while, since episode 5 specifically, I believe Balin, if it's not Abeloth, I believe that Balin is going to replace the sun.
You think so?
I think Balin is going to replace the son because I think the father and the daughter have already been replaced.
By Anakin and Ahsoka?
By Anakin and Ahsoka. Because my theory is that Anakin is the balance now that he has died. He has completed his training. He is able, and here's the thing, so you're such a baby.
I'm cold.
Such a baby. Gotta turn the heat on now, kids.
No, fine. Just
all right.
layers.
Just put on layers. It's just okay. Anyway. So the theory is that Anakin is now he's now taken the role of the father, and so the idea was whenever he was talking with Darth Sidious, he talked about his master, Darth Plagueis the Wise, was able to save people, even the ones he loved, because he was so knowledgeable in the Force from death. I believe in episode 5, episode 4, episode 5, I believe that we saw Ahsoka die and Anakin bring her back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I believe that he is so in tune with the Force that I think that he's able to, because we've learned that the world between worlds, it is a place that happens between all space and all time simultaneously. It's an unending front. So anything within the world between worlds happens past, present, future, all within the same instance.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the second that he died, he was able to complete that. I think he was able to become the chosen one the second that he died.
Yeah. Because
he was able to enter the world between worlds. I think he then can now save and direct people, and I think we have that constant battle with like light and darkness, and there's that constant like flux and talk about it. I think that we've clearly seen the flux between light and dark with Anakin. So I think that makes sense that he now assumes the mantle of the father and the imagery of the balance. So that's my theory. I think he's the new father. I think Ahsoka's already been the daughter. I think she is her essence is the daughter right now. I think she will also not fulfill her role until she dies and becomes the daughter fully.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my role. That's my idea. For them to completely take on those mantles, I think they have to be the Force.
Okay.
Like Anakin is. That's my theory. Okay. Also, Abeloth's a really sick theory too, because it's like the most, like that would literally be the most powerful Force user.
That would explain why he was like, they're scared of something. Why are they trying to get out so fast?
Yeah. You know? Which I don't think we're going to find Abeloth in the mountain, because Abeloth, like literally in Legends, she was so powerful, they literally had to put like star clusters and black holes around her. Yeah. And then like that was the only way that they could like weaken her or subdue her. Like that's just how powerful she is. But so whenever she drank from the fountain, it corrupted her, and she just became this monster like entity that was super powerful. So she became immortal, but she lost all sense of who she was before that. So yeah, it's kind of a crazy thing. You should read up on that, guys. Abeloth, yeah, she looks like what's the one creepy internet video? Momo? Is that the one with the big mouth, the long hair?
Oh, Momo? Yeah.
She looks like Momo, except she's got like the Titan teeth. You know, it's like
okay,
it's pretty creepy. Yeah.
Got like an Eren Yeager mouth.
Yeah.
In Titan form.
Yeah. I'm like not even joking. Yeah, I'm not even joking. That's like literally
cool.
Yeah. So anyway, what are your thoughts and theories on Ahsoka?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Don't worry about it. Just go ahead, keep going. What do you think will happen now?
I don't know.
She's like, I have no idea.
Oh, I have seen that picture.
Yeah, that's Abeloth.
Okay, yeah, I saw that and I was like, what's everybody talking about, guys?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
the
confused.
corrupted mother. So that is one of the hopeful dreams. Which I think Dave Filoni's just crazy enough to do that though. So like
probably.
Which I think
he's brought us this far.
Yeah, which I think is really cool. The people, and I do have to say this, people said you didn't need to watch Clone Wars or Rebels to watch Ahsoka.
I think you did.
I disagree. Because everyone that's watched it that hasn't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, they didn't like it.
They didn't like it.
Yeah, that's because they didn't have the context.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for you guys to really enjoy this, you should watch, definitely watch season 3 of Clone Wars, the last season of...
Disney even puts together a snippet of episodes that you need to watch. Like, it took episodes from Clone Wars and Rebels and put it in its own thing for you to watch to prepare yourself for Ahsoka.
Yeah, but the fact that they promoted it is, oh, you don't need to watch it. But then you have, because I mean, I've talked to students already, and they're like, yeah, I couldn't get into it. It wasn't my thing. Just like, it didn't seem like a cool story. And I was like, that's because you don't know anything about it.
Because you don't know.
That also being said, I think Dave Filoni is setting up live action Heir to the Empire.
I don't know what that is.
It's an Admiral Thrawn movie. Well, I don't know if it'd be, I would assume it'd be a movie. I don't know. But it introduces Luke and Leia to Thrawn.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a whole book. But I think they're setting it up. I don't know if it will, but I think it'll be cool either way. I like the idea of doing the Mortis Gods myself more, which Dave Filoni has taken a lot of things from like the Legends and some of the books and stuff like that. So maybe he's shooting for that. I don't know, but either way, I think he's doing cool stuff. I have my theories, obviously, but I'm excited to see what other things he's going to do, because they're I don't know if you've heard or you realized, which I don't talk about a lot of these things to Jennifer, so she doesn't know a lot of them, or I don't think she knows a lot of them. Do you know they're doing a Mando movie?
No.
Yeah, they're supposedly doing a Mando movie. I don't think it's going to happen until like 2025, but still, I think that'll be dope. I think that'll be really cool. They are still doing season 4 of Mando, which I think they need. They're doing a lot of other things. However, the next time we get a Star Wars show won't be for a while. There's no Star Wars series on the docket as of right now that I know of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's you've got like Skeleton Crew. There's a few other ones, but it's like, I don't know when we're gonna get them. So, but anyway, but yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a little over an hour, so we've got a good episode here going in. So, any closing thoughts on the world of Tom and Jenni as we leave the world behind?
What are we gonna eat for dinner?
That's a great question, folks. What should we eat for dinner? The correct answer is enchiladas, obviously.
I had that last night. 2 nights ago.
She's so upset that she makes such good
food. We don't have any
food.
hamburger meat.
Oh, darn. Looks like we're not having enchiladas. But anyway, all right. We're going to go enjoy some time with ourselves and make some dinner. Tomorrow, I'm very looking forward to the day because I don't really have to do anything, which is pretty fun. So I'm probably going to go ride the trails a little bit, do some more riding, work on my jumps a little bit more.
Okay.
Jenni gets a phone call.
Don't need any calls while I'm at work.
Don't break your other collarbone. Oh. So, but yeah. So it's been fun. Couple weeks that we've gotten to do this, watch and catch up on things, and maybe next time we'll talk about Loki or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, this has been a good episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to follow us on social media. We're on that Instagram and that TikTok. And we also got Facebook and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you like what you're hearing and you're liking our shenanigans, because most of the time it's just us being nerdy and goofy and talking just whatever we want to talk about. Yeah, if you enjoy what we're doing, share the love, man. Let people know that you're listening to us. We would love to hear from you, get some suggestions on what you'd like to see on future episodes. So we're
our question.
Oh.
What theories do you have?
Oh, with the new series? What are your theories for Star Wars moving forward? What do you think will happen next? All right, so thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We will see you guys later. So long, and farewell. Goodbye.
Bye.